Today we're taking a look at a third mustache wax from Vintage Grooming. I'm Justin and this is 30 Day Reviews. Sudden Death comes in a gold 1 ounce tin standard screw off lid. Now once you do screw it off, of course they have a pick inside to help you remove the wax from the tin. Mine says Death Grip, but I'm pretty sure that they've since updated that to say Sudden Death. Now the scent to this wax is quite frankly nothing to shake a bone at. It's very natural scented, so it's kind of an earthy scent. It's not strong. You really don't notice it once you put it into your stash. Now to apply this mustache wax, you of course do it just like you do any other. However, you can of course use the pick that is supplied to pull out some of that wax. You want about a pea-sized amount to apply, and then you just apply it from the inside of your stash to the outside like you would any other. Sudden Death uses all natural ingredients just like the Death Grip and the Old Country waxes do. The ingredients in the Sudden Death is beeswax, shea butter, coconut oil, and pine rosin. Now, as you may have noticed, I did have to add a little bit extra just to the tips of the handlebars because it does take a little bit extra to keep the fine single hairs down right to where I want them. However, it turns out pretty good just with adding a little bit extra. Now, as you just seen, it applies fairly easily. I didn't need any external heat source like a blow dryer or to run this under hot water for any amount of time. In fact, I only had this in my pocket for right around 5 minutes before I started doing this review. Now, if you've seen my review of Old Country that I did way back when, you know that this is probably a lighter medium hold wax. And you know that Death Grip is absolutely a stronghold wax if you've watched, well, quite frankly, any of my stronghold wax videos. However, this would probably fall much more into the extreme hold category, which meant that there was two places that Sudden Death could go. It could go either in the medium hold or the stronghold category. And well, Vintage Grooming being Vintage Grooming, they decided to go ahead and put this in the stronghold category, which I would definitely have to agree with. Sudden Death is a stronghold. It will hold a stash even the size of mine pretty much all day with no problems whatsoever. Now, it being a stronghold, you would think that they would just lighten up the Death Grip. However, to me, it feels much more like they added a lot of strength to the Old Country to make the Sudden Death. Now, why do I say that? Well, quite frankly, I think that the scent profile is kind of about the same, or at least a lot closer to the Old Country. But most importantly, it is a tacky hold, which means it's more of a kind of a glue texture than it is a wax texture. And as you can see here in my fingers even, you can see that it does indeed have a lot of tack to it. Now from my experience using Sudden Death. Well, I have to say right off the bat, I love the logo. They aced that. I think that them sticking with adding in a pick into the wax is also another really good choice. However, I never used it. So what I did was I just added a little wax to the back side of it, shoved it onto the back of the lid, and it stayed there the entire 30 days. So yeah, that's what I ended up doing with mine, and I just used my thumb mostly to remove it out of the tin. It removes very simply with just a few minutes, like I said, in the hand or in a pocket. Which brings me to the hold of the wax. I think that it did a great job. It definitely held perfectly fine. Anytime that I had to put a mask on, if it was messed up at all after I took it off, it just takes a little swoop of the fingers and my mustache was right back where it was supposed to be. I also like Sudden Death because it does spread very nicely and evenly throughout the stash, and it even brushes through the mustache fairly well. I also noticed while using this over the last 30 days that it is a heavier mustache wax. So what this means is that you're going to want to use a little bit and slowly add to that while you are doing up your stash, because it can get heavy fairly quickly, which can give the appearance to somebody that the mustache wax isn't holding properly, which it will as long as you don't apply too much. Now, like I said, this is a strong hold. However, it is on the probably a little bit lighter side of a strong hold wax. So I did find that this worked much better when I was going for a more natural style mustache with just a little bit of a swoosh on the handlebars. And I think that it held the cowboy style handlebars to look really, really nice all day long. Now, do I think that you should spend your hard-earned money on sudden death? Well, I honestly think that as long as you don't mind the tacky type texture to a mustache wax, that you try out sudden death. I think that it holds very well. It definitely feels good in the mustache. It's not overly oily, it's not overly tacky, like it's not sticking to your skin. I think that it's just right, and I really do like this one. And I think that if you are going to get it, you should get it at the link down below. To check out the other mustache waxes and vintage grooming, check out the playlist up here. Down below, that's going to be a video that you'll probably enjoy as well. And until next time, as always, you have a good one.